The last lesson, we applied styling, and with styling, it really makes it bring it to life, bring what we're doing to life. So we do want to be able to hide the first card for the dealer to make the game a little bit more interesting because we don't want the dealer's cards to be visible. So we're creating another card B class, and this is going to be the one where it's the hidden part. So in this case, let's position and absolute. And we're going to essentially be putting a cover on top of the card. So we want to position it. So top and 13 picks and do a left of 9 picks. And a lot of the rest of the parameters are going to be the same. I'll do a background color of blue. We can keep the border radius. We can keep the border color if we want. But let's see how this looks. So going into the script, we're going to check to see if that Boolean value where we're doing the show card and passing out there that's hidden or not within the take card. And we're going to do the construction to see if we need to hide it. And if we don't hide it, then we can show it. So the H, depending on whatever the Boolean value is, we're going to apply a cover on top. So do true for the first one. And the condition is going to be if H, then we're going to add into the game card back and using document create element and adding in to create a div. So this one's going to float on top, and game card back class list add, and the class that we're adding is going to be card B. And then taking the element and appending that new game card back element that we constructed. So see what happens. So we do deal. We need to make a few tweaks and adjustments. So it's not quite right. We got to move it up. So position of card B. And actually, this should work for being able to cover any of the cards. So it doesn't look like we need to have the border. So let's adjust the top position. So bring it down to 63. And we don't need the border either. So just get rid of that. And maybe it's 64. So until it's covered. And once it's covered, then that's fine. That's all we need. We just need to make sure that it is covered. You might have to make some adjustments depending on if you shift other things around on the page, depending on the content that we have here. So there might be some additional tweaks and adjustments we need to be able to make to it. But in this case, we do see that it's showing or hiding the card. So that's what we initially wanted. And there's also one other thing that I want to add in before we complete with the take card function. And this is actually the ideal spot to check to see if the game deck, because remember we're taking away the cards from the game deck, and we can check to see if the length of it is equal to 0. And if it is, then we just run build deck one more time and it'll create a brand new deck of cards. So essentially we're never going to run out of cards for the gameplay. So let's save this and try the deal. Just make sure it's working, and we're ready to move on to the next lesson where we can take some more advanced functionality of the gameplay. And that's coming up next. So go ahead and set up your game area to be functioning the same way, where you've got the cards, you're displaying the cards. The first card is hidden and it's showing the other cards, and we're going to do some calculations allowing the buttons to either hit and stand. So that's all coming up in the upcoming lessons.